I wanted to start off by thanking you, Michael, for taking the time to chat with us at the Christian Beat, all about your recent release. We'll talk a lot about Warrior and kind of see where the conversation goes from there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely. So I just want to start. You're obviously not new to music, first off, but talking about your latest release, I'm just curious for you, kind of how this one feels different for you.
Oh, it's more my authentic self for sure. I did country music and I had fun. There are things that I do regret, mostly my behavior during that time, not necessarily the music, um, but I would say going back to my roots and what I grew up in definitely makes this special and different and way more authentic. When I'm in the studio, when I'm writing for it, I don't feel like I'm having to work to make it what everybody thinks it's supposed to be. It just kind of comes out.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, kind of what were you kind of working through? What was your personal experience when you were writing and recording Warrior? Like how long ago was that? Has it been, out there and you're just releasing it now? Is it kind of one of those newer tracks that you've pushed through?
Warrior is a newer track. In fact, I wrote it several months ago. I believe in April, and I was actually going through a really hard time where I decided I wanted to go back to music, but I wanted to go to Christian music. And I I was battling shame really bad. Just things you think about in your past and you wish. And then, I was dealing with that feeling that how could I ever make Christian music and be a light and be a witness when I had things that I was ashamed of. And I really had to fight through that struggle to find my way back to understanding doesn't matter. We're redeemed. We're redeemed. And that mental and emotional battle was way more challenging than I expected. And Warrior came out of that. I literally wrote Warrior in that experience. So when we came out of it, I think Warrior was for me first. And then I realized, oh, I got to share this.
That's funny how that works like that because it's often those tracks that are so personal to the creator, the writers, producer, and something like that that then actually connect the most with the listeners too. Um, do you want to talk a little bit about that? Kind of like putting yourself into the music, but then having others kind of being able to see their stories and their life kind of reflected back to them.
Warrior, it has to matter that way for me to see it the way I th felt like it was born. If it doesn't matter that way, then we've missed because it has to tap into the reality of everyone else's life. And it doesn't have to be shame. Shame was mine. Pain, physical illness. It could be a lot of things, but everyone's going through something. And this can literally fire you up. When I was writing it, I pictured a lady that had had a horrible morning. She's got the kids off to school. Her hair's a mess. She's trying to do her makeup while driving. She's frustrated. She's late. She hits this song, and all of a sudden, she has that thing happen inside her to recognize that all those things are very trivial, but she has what it takes to march. So just literally yesterday, I came across a message from someone saying they found Warrior, and they used it during a panic attack, and it helped them. And that is the ticket. It is recognizing that we share some things that are very common, and they're not the most pleasant things, but they're called pain and anxiety and hurt. And this song, if it inspires anyone out of any mess, it's a win. I've already won. I don't know how many people will listen to this song over time, but after reading that, it's over. Like, just, I bawled a little bit.
I mean, understandably so. And I imagine that it kind of transforms the meaning of the song then for you a little bit, because then you're putting those stories and those songs kind of back into when you're going to perform it the next time. You're thinking about those stories as well as your own story.
And then I got to figure out how to do it without crying. I've turned into a huge sappy guy. I it just the emotion hits me. I've got no guard. It just comes out, you know. And you know why I do is because Lord broke my heart. I look back to where I decided to change my life and I asked him to break my heart. And he did. And now I literally cry at the drop of a hat. And I feel like this song, I think you're so right. I think in 20 years when I'm singing it, I'll have a whole different take on it. We were shooting the music video for it, and the scenes in the music video made me see the song different. And I hope that I'm um, present-minded enough to appreciate that for a long time. Really am.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the music video. I did want to ask you about it because when you released the track, you kind of teased that the music video is coming.
Mhm.
So just curious, don't want to get you in trouble, but if there's anything that you can share about the making of that and kind of the work that went into that music video.
I can share all I want, including I believe we know that it's coming out on October 16th. You're the
Awesome.
first person I've actually told that because I just got confirmation this morning. But the making of was to how can we eh, how can we capture the mental, emotional, spiritual battle and the physical battle? And we chose to separate those two things and make them two stories in the video. And probably the best part of the whole thing is that they are my kids. So my daughter's 20, my son is 18, and they have always wanted to act and be in that world. They're huge in music and very artistic. So they played the parts and they were exceptional. And what I feel like is the enemy wants you to see you his way until the moment when you decide no and you break that glass in your life. And all of a sudden, the very next time after breaking that glass, you see your reflection, except for this time, you see the reflection of a warrior that's inside the way God wants you to see you. And it delivered so well. And I cannot tell you how pumped I am about this music video. It went so good.
Oh, that's awesome. That's always exciting when you get to kind of translate the music into another art form and see
Yeah,
it kind of in another way, versus hearing it and everything else. That's awesome.
super neat.
That's really cool. So I guess then my next question is after Warrior, after the music video, kind of what's next for you? Kind of what are you working on, writing, yeah, those types of things.
Well, I have fun news. So we have a new single coming out on October the 24th called Victory Song, and we really dug through the songs. Believe it or not, the album's like I thought it was finished, and now I'm writing songs, so I'm not sure if it's finished yet. But we do know what's coming next, and it's called Victory Song, and it's the perfect segue because out of Warrior, we all go through valleys and mountaintops. Well, then if we're not always battling either, there are victories. There are moments of victory when you have fought the good fight and now you're here. And so Victory Song just made total sense. And it's a little bit of Minnesota funk. It's a little out there for me. But I don't know why I wrote it other than it was just in me. And I think I wrote it honestly out of that spirit of my own victory. And I just was feeling bubbly and dancy and and I can't even dance, but it's okay. Um and we when we wrote it and then immediately we knew it had a really fun energy and it's just that opportunity to lighten up because Warrior is got this very hard edge to it. And I was a little nervous about making that the first single because I didn't want to frame me in hard, you know.
Hmm.
But I thought it was important there was a message first. So the message hit, and now we get to dance. So that's coming out. And then I have a Christmas single coming out November the 21st,
Awesome.
called All I Need. I wrote this song and I kind of wondered because I'm kind of one of those Christmas guys. I sing a Christmas song every day of the year, and I generally tend to think you can't rewrite Christmas, but I found a way to write a Christmas song. So I'm excited about it. It's an up-tempo song. It's fun, and we'll see how it goes. But those are the new things. And then of course into the new year, we plan to get on the road, and the whole album will be coming out eventually. Hopefully, kind of early in the year, maybe end of spring or somewhere in there.
That's awesome. That's a lot of exciting stuff coming up through the end of the year.
Sorry, I just unloaded on you. I was
No,
a
no, I wasn't sure what all you had coming up next, so that was a perfect question to ask. That's awesome. Well, that's great news for you. Excited to see kind of how the not just playing with your message and kind of transforming that over these last couple tracks, but kind of with your sound too. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
fun to kind of see that difference play out and get that interaction. But I know we're getting close to time, but I just want to give you kind of the opportunity before we log off just to share kind of what's on your heart with this new music. You've already shared a little bit kind of like how it's impacted you and why you felt led to this, but just what you hope that all of this new music as it comes out over the course of this year into next, kind of what your expectation, your prayer is for its impact.
Oh, that's an easy question to answer, but man, is it a good one. My hope for all of this music is for it to actually count for something more than me, beyond myself. I, in country music and coming out of American Idol, I just wanted to be famous. It was impressive. Overnight, I was no one one day, someone the next. It was like a drug, and I jumped all over it and misdirected in so many kind of ways. And this time, I'm not. And it has something in it that has nothing to do with me, and it's Jesus. And I want that impact to hit. Whatever comes out of me must promote him. It must add to the attraction to Jesus, or I've missed the mark. And at the end of this first record coming out in Christian music, that would be my hope and prayer, because a light is not valuable unless it's in a dark room. If you turn a flashlight on outside during the day, no one notices it. But you get in a dark room, and all of a sudden, that light is the most valuable thing in the room. You can have 10 people and one person with a flashlight. That person turns that light on. Guess who everyone is following? The person with the flashlight. I just want to be the flashlight. And I'm hoping that the time that I've taken to grow, mature, heal, be redeemed, been forgiven, been all those things, the time I've taken to do that gives me the opportunity to speak about the Lord in a way that it's it's very personal, very personal, and that hopefully that will make a very personal impact on others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm really happy to have gotten a chance to chat with you, Michael, get to hear about your heart behind the music and kind of what you're hoping to bring from it. So I appreciate you taking the time this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for even paying attention.